like about Binky tonight?
That he got kind of a double whammy, if that is the right phrase. Got out of a jam, but also got 3 outs. That was his role last year, was, come in, get us out of a jam, did it several times. Or on certain occasions, it was just bridge the gap to the next guy, go out there, get you 3 outs, and he did both those things tonight. And I know all of us want to, including him, want to get in a rhythm, as the season goes on and find a particular role for him. And so again, I think getting to kind of check both those boxes helps push him forward into that. He was down there too a couple times, down there in Oxford. It just didn't pop up that way. And in part, for the most part, our guys threw well. We played better defense behind some of those guys. The pitch count's even smaller for the guys that we did use.
Do you feel like he's close to being able to find a role on the weekend and help you out there?
Yeah, I think, I think it'd be similar to last year, at this point, but there's plenty of season left. I mean, we're technically only halfway through the SEC season. So there's a lot of valuable baseball to play and just a lot of innings in general. It's a sore topic. Left our guy hanging down there in the bullpen that works his butt off, but it's the way it works. So yeah, there's plenty of ball left, and obviously if you look at the last 2 times he's been out there, he's thrown the ball better and better. And one of the better lineups we've seen the whole year is ETSU, and he threw so well against them. We took him out because we didn't want him to be gassed out for the weekend, and so happened he didn't pitch that weekend. Just kind of the way it worked out.
Moved Dean back up to lead off spot tonight, 3 hits. What was different about him today, maybe than sometimes?
That was his birthday, but a little more aggressive. He was in 2 strike counts a couple different times, but I think it was either a foul ball here, a close call here. But in that spot, he's really good about building a count, getting on base, but at the same time, as soon as the game starts, I don't care who we're playing, he is one of the more physical guys, and a guy who probably has the easiest power, or at least in the group of guys that has the easiest power. So we want to be aggressive and getting his swing off. So again, it's kind of a delicate balance when he's in that spot. 4-hole, I don't think you're, or if we drop either of those guys, Ensley or Dean in the 3-hole, I don't think you want your mindset to change too much, because you kind of only come up in that slot, to start the game, and then the rest is a jumbled up mess. You're just trying to put together innings and trying to win games. So by now he's seen about every situation you can see in college baseball, and all we need him to do is be himself. And I think at times he's taken away some aggressiveness because he's been in that spot. So we'll remind him of that.
With AJ, plan to get him in this weekend, and do you have a vision for what that would look like in terms of starting or relieving?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, because the guys have thrown the way that they have, and I know we took Teagan out earlier last week, but if you look at his overall effort in SEC play, he's earned the right to, I don't want to say lock down innings, but certainly throw innings for us every weekend, and it'll probably be in a starting fashion, and then Marcus is our guy. So for now, I think it's a hybrid. It'll be relief, but I don't have any intention of bringing him in right in the middle of an inning to start the whole deal. So probably starting an inning, and every pitcher does that, including the starters the first inning. I had a conversation about somebody else about that. The only difference about the first inning is the starter gets to play catch in the outfield, which I'm sure that's beneficial, but these are big boys. They can get outs all kinds of different ways.
How helpful is that to get him back and kind of bolster the overall weekend profile of the staff?
It's I say it. I'll build up to saying it so it doesn't sound like I'm being a smart ass or smart aleck, whatever. How valuable would 3 outs have been on Sunday? Or there's several other games I could bring up too. So let's just say that's his role, which I'm not. We haven't even really discussed it, but whether it's him or Binky or somebody else, if you can go out there and get us 1 to 3 outs, and you get us 4 outs, that's a pretty big deal over the course of an SEC weekend, even if it's in a loss.
The nerve-wracking watching Gavin running on that hamstring.
Yeah, it was for me, but it was secondary to Fish, who was behind him, and Fish kind of scared me. He ran up right in my face and said, oh my gosh, Gavin scared me, when he was running. But if you're around Gavin too, he gives you a sense of security because he's so secure in who he is. And I think that's a good lesson learned for a lot of our guys, especially the younger ones. They want to be playing at this level, you know, if they weren't, but sometimes they can waver. And we got a few guys whose self-belief or comfort in their own skin is unwavering, and you know, not only does it benefit them and let them play their best, but it makes you feel comfortable when you're around them too, especially if you're in a coaching role.
Back to AJ, not to go too far in the weeds, but even if he's coming out of the bullpen here this weekend, is he still working to be as stretched out as he can be in order to?
Yeah, the last time he threw was again the second time where maybe it was the third time he threw again recently. So the third time where he got up and down twice. So the next move would be to get up and down 3 times if we were just training. But of course, you know, we're not in spring training, we're in SEC ball, so delicate balance. And I wouldn't put it out of the realm of, you know, wouldn't be any, you know, you got to play the game to win, but we got this sidebar issue going on that's unique, so maybe he gets some outs and still throws in the bullpen. He's done that a couple different times, so again, it'll be a little bit of a hybrid in that case too. He wants to help us win games, we want him to help us win games, but we do want to keep that, you called it stretching out, I call it building up, kind of keep that momentum.
I guess clean baseball is always important, is the easy answer, but when you play at Kentucky the way that they play the game, how important is it to just not give those guys extra things?
Yeah, I think you're talking about a brand of baseball offensively that's maybe a little bit different than, you know, the normal stuff you see in the league or further away from the average. But no matter who it is, you can say they're closer or further away from the average. Everyone presents a different problem in our league. And, you know, Mississippi obviously is going to run. They got a lot of left-handed hitters. They got a lot of older guys. So everybody presents strong competition to you in the league. And I think it always comes back, at least with our group, because I do believe in our group enough, we need to do us as best as we can. And we haven't done that the last 2 weekends. And what's great is, you know, you or the fans can say, you know, again, I'm not saying this abrasively, but people outside of our locker room can say whatever they want. But we haven't played very good baseball the last 2 weekends compared to what we're capable of. And we're 3-3 against 2 teams that could easily, especially offensively, easily make their way well into June. So I think it's important for us to focus on who we are and make sure we keep getting better and trying to play our best baseball.